make sure you are seated comfortably, your body relaxed. Close your eyes and focus your attention on your breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your lungs. Allow any tensions and worries to slip away with each out-breath, releasing all negativity. With each in-breath, draw in purifying, clean air. Slowly let all outside concerns fade away. The space around you begins to darken as your attention moves inwards. Everything fades away, leaving only a quiet, peaceful darkness. You rest a moment in the darkness, feeling yourself safe and secure. The darkness spreads out in all directions, vast and silent. You rest within the great void, Ginunga Gap, the emptiness before creation, before the beginning of time and the birth of space. Within this void all things will come into being. In the very distance, on either side of you, you are aware of the realms of fire and ice, so far away you can barely perceive them. Through their union, force and form will come into being and the worlds will be set in motion. It is in this place that you will meet Isa. In the centre of the void you see a small light, a tiny spark of vitality. We will call the name of Isa 3 times to bring it into being. Isa. Through the power of your voice, the spark of light transforms, glowing purest, radiant white, and transforming into the shape of Isa. The rune grows larger and larger, shining brightly in the darkness, steadily moving towards you until it comes to a rest, waiting for you to enter. Slowly you pass through the rune and into the realm beyond. You are aware instantly of the cold, even through your soft, thick furs. The air is sharp, stinging your nose and cheeks. Beneath your feet the snow crackles as you cross its white surface, following your companions who lead the way with sleds and skates. You can barely tell who is who beneath the thick jackets, hats, and soft, warm mittens. There is some muffled chatter and laughter, but not much. You all conserve your energy for walking. The still scene is broken only by the crunch of snow beneath your feet and the white plumes of breath which rise up from you and your companions' mouths before being snatched away by the cold. You know you are falling behind, but you are unconcerned. You know the way well, and the sheer beauty of the winter landscape fills you with wonder. As the figures of your companions disappear behind the hedgerows, you pause, just briefly, to survey the scene. Behind you, the smoke from the chimneys of the village is clearly visible against the pale blue sky, whilst, ahead, the hedgerows of the fields give way to open hillside. To your right, the woodland opens out beyond the deep ditch of the frozen stream, and it is here that your attention is drawn by a softly glinting light. You wonder what could be causing such a brilliant, glinting ray. Perhaps an icicle has come loose and is now turning gently in the wind. Against the white snow, the black branches of the woodland are stark and elegant, each tree dappled in a mantle of snow and thick frost. You turn your footsteps and slowly trudge over the snow towards the slowly glinting white light that still blinks on and off like a mirror caught by the breeze. You draw nearer and nearer, marvelling at the radiance and power of the beam, and as you near the edge of the woodland, the white light splits into rainbow colours, bouncing off the thick frost and snow, bestowing upon the frozen trees a patina of bejewelled radiance. You are enchanted by the sheer wonder of the scene, white transformed into dancing rainbow colours, and As you draw in a deep breath, the metallic kiss of winter enters your mouth, throat, and lungs. You shut your eyes against the dazzling beauty, and when you open them once more, the rainbow light is gone, and you see only the gentle, blinking light once more. Happily, you have approached the woodland at just the right spot. The wooden bridge that passes over the stream is just ahead of you. You tell yourself that it is Providence guiding you to go and investigate the light. With care you step forward onto the bridge. The ditch is deep, and at its base you see only the smooth covering of snow that hides the frozen waters beneath. The snow on the bridge is brittle beneath you, and as you gingerly step out onto the narrow planks of the bridge, it cracks and flurries down into the smooth snow at the bottom of the ditch. Its fall seems gentle, but you know that your own fate would not be so pleasant were you to slip. The sensible voice inside you reminds you that it is foolhardy indeed to attempt such precarious crossing just for a glint of light, but the sensible voice is very tiny right now, and the light blinks steadily. Step by step you tread, keeping your weight even, compensating each time the slipperiness of the compacted snow beneath the powdered surface catches you unawares. Arms out to keep your balance, you set your sights on the gentle, glinting light, staring straight ahead, advancing with smooth, even, carefully considered steps. Soon you are more than halfway. No sense in turning back now. On you tread, arms stretched out, knees bent in anticipation of slipping. At last you reach the end of the bridge and step forward onto the bank. As your foot touches the snow on the other side, the white light flashes once more, and that same rainbow light fills the woodland around you, glittering in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet, shimmering and dancing before your eyes until you are blinded by the brilliance of this strange prism of glittering ice and snow. You close your eyes momentarily, and when you open them, the rainbow is gone, but so too is the woodland. In its place you see, stretching out as far as the eye can see, a vast landscape of pure ice. Great cliffs of ice rise up way overhead and then plunge down into deep blue crevices running hither and thither across the landscape. As you look closer, you see strange shapes rising up out of the ice, arches curving gracefully out of the depths and then sinking back down, turrets and spirals leaping high at odd, impossible angles. Each one gives off that strange rainbow sparkle which you saw before. The shapes seem to dance, as if you were seeing them through a veil, then 1 minute, then gone the next, hidden once more, back in the vast banks of ice. Yet the whole landscape is still. It is your eyes that cannot keep up. Your vision blurs as you look too long at any one place. 1 minute the landscape opens to reveal a myriad of shapes, the next it is flat, impenetrable, blank surfaces of ice once more. It seems to you as if there is a whole kingdom behind the blank, cruel face of the ice, but it is an elusive kingdom, a kingdom which you sense, instinctively, is laughing at you. Slowly you take a step backwards, but, disappointingly, you do not find yourself back on the bridge. As you turn around on the spot, the ice stretches out in all directions. No break to the fathomless face of the ice, no place where the landscape remains constant and secure as you stare harder at it. At this point, your sensible voice grows more insistent, reminding you that you have been standing still for too long. You can no longer feel your hands and feet. You begin to spiral outwards, hoping to happen upon the doorway that brought you to this strange and dangerous place. On you trudge. It cannot be for long, but each step is pain, and it seems unlikely now that you will find the doorway home. You can't even tell where you started out anymore. The ice simply looks the same, stretching out into the distance as high and far as the eye can see. You trudge onwards, trying to keep your eyes on the snow in front of you so that you don't get caught up in the strange landscape whispering to you from beneath the ice. If you stare at any one place for too long, the rainbow light comes, and the landscape stretches out into a whirling brilliance once more, only to snap shut when you blink. It is better not to look at all. Still, a movement up ahead catches your eye, and you cannot resist looking. Rising up over a shallow bank ahead of you, you see a plume of air, similar to that made by your friends on their way for the afternoon of winter sports. You stop and watch it. It does not flicker or disappear, even when you blink. As you watch, a cloud of warm mist rhythmically forms and dissipates. Slowly you approach, hearing a shallow rasping sound as the warm mist continues to form. You round the slope and find the body of a magnificent stag lying in the snow. His hide is blanketed in snow, and he is covered in a thin film of frost. He glistens in purest white. Even his eyes have taken on the milky sheen of death, and you know that he cannot see you. Seeing this magnificent creature so close to death makes you forget your own fear for a moment. You kneel down beside him and whisper words of comfort. Although his unseeing eyes give no sign that he can hear you, his breath becomes less strained as your words comfort him. You sit beside him and stroke his hide with your mitten. A sense of hopelessness washes over you as you realize you cannot save him. Indeed, it is likely that you will die beside him if you wait. You resolve, however, that you will stay with him as he approaches the stillness of death. You will not allow him to die alone in this strange, frightening place. Gently calming him with your voice, you keep your vigil as the mist of his breath weakens and his body grows cold. Eventually his breathing stops, and you sense that his spirit has left him and he has found peace. You sit silently in the realm of ice, mourning for the stag who was your companion, if only briefly. The cold has numbed your arms, legs, and face now. In the vast silence you hear only a single sound, your own breath, which is now rasping, just as the stag's did. As you sit in the snow beside the still and silent stag, your attention is caught by something behind him, a smooth, round object. You look closer and see that it is a drum. In this strange place you don't even pause to wonder why a drum would be out here in the wilderness. Instead, you reach out with unfeeling hands and grasp it. A drum you think is better than nothing as a means of honouring your departed friend. There is a beater attached, and you manage to stick it between the thumb and finger of your mittens. Seated in the snow, you begin to bang the drum, feebly at first, then harder. As you beat the drum, the thick frosting of ice covering it cracks and falls, revealing the taut skin of the drum beneath. The sound grows rounder as the drum begins to sing, echoing out across the ice plain and reverberating back towards you. As you beat the drum, you feel warmer. You beat the drum in honour of the spirit of the stag. You beat the drum in honour of your own spirit, acknowledging that you too are likely to die, but determinedly drumming on to show that you won't go without a fight. You beat the drum in honour of the ice and the snow, acknowledging its beauty and its power. As you beat the drum, your tears start to fall, and strangely, they do not freeze. Rather, they fall to the ground, and where they fall, the snow begins to melt, forming pools of water around you. One falls upon the body of the stag, and the white sheen of frost recedes, revealing the soft, glowing coat of the magnificent beast beneath. You wonder at how quickly the ice has claimed the creature for its own, when not so long ago the stag would have been alive with vitality, quick, fierce, and strong. On you drum, tears flowing forth. The song of the drum is tender and wild. It is of ice and fire and water. It is of life and death. It is of the interplay of song and silence. You close your eyes and imagine that death gives way to life as fire and ice combine. You imagine the stag cleansed of death by the waters of your tears. You see life returning to him and feel the warmth of water around you. The desire to live burns inside you like a flame, and you imagine that this flame is so hot that it melts the ice plains completely, or rather, they embrace it. Then all is silent and still. You open your eyes. The drum is gone. The stag is gone. You rest upon the snow. Ahead of you, you see trees, and as you scramble to your feet, you see the little bridge leading towards the woodland. There are no footsteps on it, no sign that you ever crossed it. The strange, glinting light is gone too, and you wonder whatever possessed you to think it sensible to go hunting for it in the woodland. You were just about to turn when you notice that there is something different in the landscape. The white snow that lined the ditch is gone, and the ice that covers it is not white and roughened by the snow, rather it is smooth like glass, as if the very surface of it has melted and not yet frozen once more. Deep beneath the ice you see movement, a shimmer of light, not rainbow light, but the glint of running water, still moving beneath the ice, reminding you that spring will be here soon. As you gaze in wonder at the water beneath the ice, a single shimmering light forms in the snow to your left, not the deceptive, tempting light that you know now forms an important part of the Issa rune, but rather its shimmering strength and stability, the power of its great depths, and the silent magnificence of its voice. The Issa rune stands tall and beautiful before you, and you realize it is time for you to leave the realm of this dangerous, beautiful, still and strengthening rune. Slowly you walk across the snow towards the brilliant light of Issa. As you pass through it, you feel its power caress you, and you pass out of the realm of Issa into darkness once more. Standing in the darkness, you give thanks to the rune for its lessons and energy. You watch as it fades away, leaving you in darkness, ready to return to your physical form. Slowly you let your attention return to your body, feeling the darkness around you start to fade. You let your awareness expand to the space around you as the darkness recedes. You feel yourself centered within your body, your attention focused on your physical presence, your breath and your heartbeat. The Issa rune has gone, and you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing yourself back to your working space. Take your time, and when you are ready, open your eyes.